Alright, hello. I purchased the Curt multifunction tailgate converter for my 2012 Mark 6 GTI. I also did the hidden hitch. I did that a couple years ago for my bike rack, but now I want to pull a trailer, and so doing the wiring was an important thing for that. So I'm going to walk you through how I went about installing it. There are no good instructions from what I saw online. I did lift the car up. You don't need to do that. I was working on something else and just it was easier to have it high up. So I'm going to start with the main black power cable. So I don't know if you can see, but right here Volkswagen has an extra spot for this battery cable, which runs down there and up into here as the second terminal. See if you can see that better. So as you can see, there's the second red cable, comes down, attaches there. I attached the black cable here, and from there I ran it around, and then it's got to go through the firewall. So this is the trick. I mean, if you don't want to go through the firewall, you can run it underneath the car, but with all the body panels on the GTI, I decided to go ahead and run it through the firewall and to try and do it properly, so to speak. So that comes through on the other side in the driver's compartment right next to the clutch pedal. So here's the clutch pedal here, and if you can see, this is the main conduit that runs through the firewall. There's a rubber kind of, I don't know, for lack of a better word, a thicker condom kind of a thing that covers it to keep rain in. I just poked a little hole through it. I know my car's gonna get pregnant. And ran this cable through here, and then just kind of comes. You can pop this out of the way. There is a little screw. If you pull the hood latch back, you can undo it. It's very, very simple. You can figure that out. Pop the little cap off and go from there. And then it comes down through here, runs here. To get these off, all you have to do is you got to pull up really hard. I got a screwdriver and kind of wedged up in there just so I could get my fingers up under there. But once that's off, I went ahead and ran the cable. I don't know if you can see here. It's up under this white panel, which is where all of the other main cables run. You can just this piece here just pops off. See right there. There you go. And it's up under there. Now from there, you want to go ahead and pop off this entire panel first, and then come around to the back seat here. Go ahead and continue that pop off. It is all one piece. Be very careful not to break the whole thing. Also, when you pull it off, you may notice these little pin things. It's possible that some of these will stay in the frame, and occasionally you might break one of these little plastic pieces, but you know, it's just a little plastic piece, so it's fine. Now with the cable, you want to run it on the bottom side of the seat belt post there. So basically it's kind of underneath there, under the fabric there, kind of. I don't know if you can see where my finger's at. So it runs under there, comes back, and then it runs under this panel. To get this panel off, there is a little plastic covering here. You want to just pop that off, wedge a knife or something in there, but try not to scratch it. And then there is one T25 Torx here, and then if you look back in there, there's an additional T25. Careful not to drop it. especially when you're putting it back in, because if not, it will fall down there. The next step, obviously you want to fold your seats down, take off your hatch cover, and then pull out your spare. And I guess you don't really have to pull these trays out, but I think it makes it a lot easier. And then with these carpet pieces on the sides, there's one little piece here that holds it in place, and then once you pop that off, you can just pull this away, so you can route your cables around there. Same thing with the other side. Now, the instructions for the Curt thing say that this device needs to be on the left-hand side over here. But I didn't like that because I think there was more space over here. And to me, it just kind of made more sense to put it on that side, just more space and all that stuff. So I put it over there. It says that you take this green cable because it is longer for the it's supposed to be for the right-hand turn signal, but I cut it and put it on the extension to the left-hand turn signal. Basically just swapping sides. You don't have to do that. Again, for me it seemed easier, but as far as wiring this thing, going back, I know I'm kind of going all over the place, but it all makes sense. This black cable here comes out is the power. It runs up from this panel back over here and up behind there, comes down, runs there. This is the main power cable. The ground, oh right, that's why I did it over here. That is already a grounding port, or bolt head. And so I decided to just go ahead and put the ground over there so I wouldn't have to do any extra drilling. I did end up drilling this into the sheet metal. I didn't want to do that, but the double-sided tape just wasn't staying, and I don't want anything rattling around or coming loose. So I kept the double-sided tape behind there, just for vibration resistance. And then as far as the actual wiring coming out of here, you have yellow, green, brown, and red. According to Curt, let's see, got the diagram here. Let's see if it'll zoom in. There you go. So brown is the tail light, yellow is left turn, red is brake, green is your right turn. Again, I extended the yellow with the remainder of the green for the left-hand side because of the relocation of this. So the order of these cables attached to the socket up here that goes into the rear tail light. This green one should be the turn signal, brown should be your running light, and this black with red or purple on this right side should be the brake light. For the left side, if you do it on that side, it should be the black with white cable should be your turn signal, brown should be the running light, and black with red should be the brake light. And then of course the white is your ground, black is your power, positive power, and then of course you have your 4 cable come out. For me, I'm going to run it, once this piece is back in there, it'll run into where the spare tire is and come up, and I'll just be able to leave it in there. And then when I want to use it, I'll just pop it out, close the trunk over it, and roll with it like that. So that, I think, about covers it up. Let me know if you have any questions.